What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Legendary Season 1, Episode 8. First of all, let me say congratulations to Legendary. I heard today that they have been renewed for Season 2, so we can look forward to a whole nother season of these wonderful battles. I have some thoughts on some things that they could do next season, but congratulations. I enjoyed it. And my understanding is that both this video and then season finale has also been dropped. So I will I'll be back for the season finale. I didn't want to look at them back to back. So this was the semifinals. This was the Atlantis Ball. This was them combining houses to make. They took the last 4 houses and combined houses to make 2 mega houses. And honestly, I think I said it in my review last week. I didn't agree with Mother Erica's decision to not choose Balmain. Yeah, Balmain. She said that she wanted to battle against them because they were so great. And my thing was, go ahead, pick them, whoop everybody ass, and then next week in the finals you can battle them. Like, I didn't see the problem, but she chose House of Gucci. House of Gucci hasn't been my favorite the whole season, and it's not personal at all, but I honestly just didn't understand why she chose the House of Gucci. And I think it came back a little bit to kick her in the butt a little bit with this episode. But it's the Athens Ball. The guest judge is Tamar Braxton, which, you know, if you know Tamar Braxton and you follow Tamar Braxton, she has stolen so many quote-unquote gay sayings and colloquialisms and things like that. Child, I wasn't even shocked to see her, honey. I wasn't even shocked to see her. But the whole theme was like under the water type of thing. So there were 5 categories. Each house would get a point for the category, and then whoever had the most points at the end of the night won they won the ball. And the 2 bottom houses had to battle it out. That's how it was going to break down. So the first category was, the 2 houses, so La Gorgeous, and that was Gucci and Lavin. And then Balscada was Balmain and Escada. So the first battle was Tales from Atlantis. It was Walk, Vogue, and Face. So Balscada came out first, and they looked nice. I enjoyed it. Calypso's wig, she was doing this wig reveal, and so she was doing a bald head, and her face was gorgeous with that bald head. But the wig sort of got caught on the costume, so it didn't give the same effect of the rock that I think she was going for. And it was a little distracting. I don't think it was distracting enough that had they bust down the ball, it would have been a problem. The house of La Gorgeous, Erica, of course, Mother Erica did Face. And I forget who the other 2 were, but they were all from the house of Lavin. Now, honestly, the judges said what I was thinking. I was like, if we're going to combine houses, the whole first category is all House of Lavin. But then you have to say, but if they were the best 3 to walk in that category, then they were the best 3 to walk in that category. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, if they're all combined, and it's no longer, if they're no more Lavins and Gucci's, whatever. Right now, it's the House of La Gorgeous, and whoever the best 3 that we feel that need to walk. If Gucci had a problem with it, I'm sure they voiced it, which, you know, we're going to talk about in a second, another house voicing some stuff. So, but it came down to the House of La Gorgeous won the first round. Y'all know, excuse me. Y'all know I love me some Mother Erica, and I thought Erica did that with the face. They had these translucent outfits. She had the hair slicked back. It was beautiful. And she had like this turquoise lipstick. Honey, I thought they looked great. The second category was Octopus Puss Party. And the House of La Gorgeous, they came out with like this whole jellyfish thing that they had going on. And they were kind of doing this like they were swimming kind of thing. And when they got to the end of their performance, I was like, that's it? It was nice because it was hands. It was all hands. And don't get me wrong, it was a nice performance, but I don't know. I thought I was waiting for more. I was waiting for a grand finale, and I didn't get it. It was just kind of like done. Boscata came out and they had sort of like these pink leotards look like mini octopi guess thing going on. I did like theirs better, but when they got done, I was actually underwhelmed as well. And I'm going to agree with Law on this one. Law said that he felt like they were competing for $100,000 prizes, but they were giving $20 performances. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't disagree. I didn't feel like that category was elevated. I just didn't feel like they gave me a whole lot. And maybe maybe it's me. But, and for me to agree with Law, it's got to be bad if I agree with Law, child. And ultimately, the judges gave that round to the House of Boscata. And again, I'm going to be honest with you, I ain't necessarily disagree. I didn't care. And y'all know how much I love the House of Lanvin, but I was like, well, it could go either way. Child could go either way. Then we had the Murph Physiques, and that was male body. And Jarrell walked, and I forgot the other guy that walked. But it don't even, was it just, y'all know who I'm talking about. The father of the House of Gucci shit. He walked. And it really don't matter who the other person was because he burnt that stage down. I know my baby Isme D is gonna correct me. He always correct me, but on the name when I get the name wrong. But baby, he burnt that stage down. That round went to La Gorgeous, House of La Gorgeous. Now, to see or not to see was this Vogue category. It was like soft, dramatic Vogue. You're supposed to be hard and soft. Again, I'm no ballroom person. Okay. I enjoy both performances. And my girl Michaela, she was doing her thing. Now, London. Let's talk about the House of Boscata for a second. It seemed like the father of the House of Balmain was making a lot of the decisions, and London from the House of Boscata had a problem with it. One of the members of the House of Boscata wanted the father of the House of Balmain, who I think is London, wanted him to speak up and felt like Balmain was sort of running things, and it wasn't equal decisions that Balmain was running things. In the House of Balmain, the father of Balmain was like, listen, the way I came up in house, you didn't get a decision. You didn't get any input. The father or mother of the house made a decision. You just did what you were told, as far as the ballroom was concerned. Whereas it seems like Escada, they run theirs more of a democracy where they all get input to say certain things. And so they caused a little bit of a strike, but it seemed like they sort of were able to move past it. I enjoy both categories, and if it were me judging, I probably would have given it to La Gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie, but it went to Escada. So now we have 2 and 2, and we need the tiebreaker, which is the final category, which is Rich Bitch, and the father and mothers of the houses will walk in this category. Now, the House of Boscata came out, and they told a whole little story. They had a whole European aristocratic, Renaissance type story going on, and they told this whole story, and I was like, okay, because I was like, my girl Erica is about to come and turn the whole motherfucking thing, so I ain't even tripping. I already know that Mother Erica is about to turn this shit out. I was like, that was cute. Okay. And then I saw Mother Erica, and I saw the father of the House of Gucci, and I said, oh yeah, they look good. Oh yeah. Oh yes. They had this whole turquoise thing, and she had the thing going, and she had the mask covering her face, and she had the pearls coming out of her mouth. I said, yes. No. It was horrible. Their performance was horrible. And I was like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't even, because I really, I really wanted, I know what I wanted, but I couldn't because I was like, this was not good. Like, this performance was not good. And I felt so bad because y'all know how much I love me some Lon Vin. Y'all know how much I love me some Mother Erica. But, baby, tonight was not your night. And all I could think was, because your ass should have went with Balmain. You should have fucking went with Balmain. Now, during the category, the puss category, there was a moment where Tamar leaned over to Leonie and asked for the name of the house. She knew who she wanted, but she couldn't remember the right name. And so she leaned over to ask. And when they were backstage looking, House of Gucci thought that she was getting tips from Leonie to who she could pick, who she should pick. And so it came down to House of Lanvin. And he was like, I'm going to call them out. When I get on stage, I'm going to call them out. So it came down to the House of Lanvin and the House of Gucci. And they had to, they had to battle it out. And they pulled out their secret weapon, Michaela. And Michaela, her knee is hurt. So she couldn't do all of them flips. And I think at a certain point, she felt like she was losing. And she was like, to hell with this knee. And baby, she climbed up one of them damn things on the wall. And she came and she jumped and twirled and twisted. And I said, yeah. I said, she going to pay for that shit in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She hurt her knee. It was already hurt. She hurt it worse. And so I hate to see what's going to happen next week as far as, well, when I look at the next episode, as far as whether she'll be able to perform or not in the finale. But she did what she had to do, and House of Gucci was eliminated and the House of Lanvin stayed. But baby, y'all had me nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I was over here like, Jesus, I know we're not gonna get to the end and y'all ain't even gonna get to the finals after y'all done dominated this whole damn competition. What is wrong with y'all? But the House of Gucci, the father of the House of Gucci, he decided he was going to call out Miss Tamar. Y'all know Tamar wasn't having that. And Tamar said to him, she said, sometimes you just got to take your L. Because he tried to accuse her of basically choosing who she was going to pick based off of what Leonie said. She said no. And Leonie said, she said no. She just didn't know the name. She knew who she wanted. She's not, she don't know y'all's names. She wanted to make sure she said the right name. And so then, of course, he looked stupid and he looked like he was being bitter. And Tamar told him, she said, sometimes you just got to take your L's. She said, I didn't come out here to do anything to besmirch your character. I didn't come out here to do anything to accuse you of anything negative in reference to your character. And I was like, y'all, now again, y'all know I'll be giving Tamar a lot, but in that one, Tamar didn't do nothing wrong. And it was about to be a problem, But anyway, they cleared it up, and it is what it is. So we're going to get to this finale, honey. I'm going to go on and watch this finale and see what they're doing. House of Lanvin and Mother Erica, you should have chose Balmain. I think y'all would have kicked all of their asses. I think it would have been you, Balmain. The sad thing is I still think the House of Gucci would have went home, to be honest with you. I still think if Balmain and Lanvin had hooked up, I firmly believe they would have won. And it would have come down to Escada and Gucci. And I still think Gucci would have went home. If you really want to know the truth of the matter, I do. But it's just the point of it wouldn't have been so damn close. And maybe Michaela wouldn't have hurt her damn knee again. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments, please.